the City of Gary has a 311 app? You can report any non-emergency request right from your smartphone. Need help dealing with unfair landlords? Use the app.
Girl, I just don't understand. I'm paying rent, and my landlord isn't fixing any of the issues in this apartment. What should I do?
You know you can report it on the Gary 311 app. Do you have it?
What's that?
Let me show you. Just go to your app store.
Or maybe you need to request the birth certificate.
Yeah, I can't find my birth certificate.
Oh, it probably just got misplaced during the move. Actually, we can request a new one through the Gary 311 app.
Okay. New technology. I'm in.
Let me show you.
And guess what? You can even report illegal dumping.
Look at him! Just dumping his garbage on private property.
Well, caught him in 4K. You know we can report him on the Gary 311 app and to GPD's Taste Tip.
That's good.
Never feel frustrated again about an issue. Use the Gary 311 app to report all your non-emergency needs. It's a free application that allows users to report community issues, pinpoint the location with GPS, attach photos, and more. All right from your smartphone. Download the Gary 311 app today. Available on iOS and Android. Did you know the City of Gary has a 311 app? You can report any non-emergency request right from your smartphone. Need help dealing with unfair landlords? Use the app.
Girl, I just don't understand. I'm paying rent, and my landlord isn't fixing any of the issues in this apartment. What should I do?
You know you can report it on the Gary 311 app. Do you have it?
What's that?
Let me show you. Just go to your app store.
Or maybe you need to request the birth certificate.
Yeah, I can't find my birth certificate.
Oh, it probably just got misplaced during the move. Actually, we can request a new one through the Gary 311 app.
Okay. New technology. I'm in.
Let me show you.
And guess what? You can even report illegal dumping.
Look at him! Just dumping his garbage on private property.
Well, caught him in 4K. You know we can report him on the Gary 311 app and to GPD's Taste Tip?
That's good.
Never feel frustrated again about an issue. Use the Gary 311 app to report all your non-emergency needs. It's a free application that allows users to report community issues, pinpoint the location with GPS, attach photos, and more. All right from your smartphone. Download the Gary 311 app today. Available on iOS and Android.
Good morning and welcome to the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for January 15th, 2025. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Quorum for the business of the Board of Public Works on January 15th. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from January 8th, 2025.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstain. The minutes are approved from January 8th, 2025. We'll move on to claims.
Mr. Vice President, we have before us claims to be. It's on. Can you hear me okay? Okay, maybe it's too far away. We have claims to be paid on January 17, 2025. General fund is $122,776.16. Special revenues, including motor vehicle highway, local roads and streets, MVH restricted, Health and Human Services grant, vehicle auction, Protective Services grant, Warming and Cooling Center, ESG shelters grant, HIV prevention grant, and cumulative capital improvement is $218,846.99. For general fund casino, public safety income tax, will tax, surtax, ARPA, grant, and fire pension fund, $37,121.66. Total to be paid on January 17th is $378,744.81. I move that we approve claims for January 17th.
Second.
It's moved and properly second to approve claims. Roll call vote, please.
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Morgan,
Yes.
and Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes.
With 3 yes and 0 no, claims are approved.
We also have before us ratification of payroll and ratification of claims. Payroll for January 14, 2025 is $4,342,677.56. And for withholdings, $118,843.48. Total to be paid is was $4,461,521.04.
Did you make the motion?
I move that we approve ratification of payroll for January 14th.
I second that motion.
It's moved and properly second. Any discussion for the ratification of claims? Roll call vote.
Member Green,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With 3 yes and 0 no, ratification of claims are approved.
And we have ratification of one claim for the general fund for January 9th of $987.50. I move that we approve the claim for general fund.
I second that.
It's moved and properly second, the ratification of that one claim for general fund. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no's.
With 3 yes and 0 no, the ratification of one claim for the general fund has been approved.
That concludes claims.
That concludes claim. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to amend the agenda.
Mr. Vice President, I move that we amend the agenda to add, I'll read the items into the record, this one. I move that we amend the agenda to add the following correspondence for the Law Department. Number 1, professional services contract with Xerox Business Solutions. Number 2, professional services contract, Innovative Planning. Number 3, the grant for Gary Harm Reduction Corporation. 4, a grant for Edgewater Health. 5, grant for the Love of Arts Incorporated. 6, professional services contract with Dr. Janet Seabrook. 7, professional services contract with Attorney Renzo Williams III. 8, professional services contract KD03. 9, professional services contract Helios Consulting LLC. So my motion is that we amend the agenda today to add those 9 items, and also want to be sure that MKSK, also add a 10th item, was a contract with MKSK Incorporated. And that's my motion.
A motion on the floor. Do we have a second? It's moved and properly second to add the following 10 items under new business. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. We'll review each contract individually under new business. At this time, we'll move on to correspondence from the Public Works Department. The first correspondence is for disabled parking signs new. The following has submitted for new parking, 539 Dallas Street. All documentation has been verified and required fees will be paid upon approval. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve 539 Dallas Street for new parking handicap.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and properly second. Roll call vote.
Member Green.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan. Yes. Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes, 0 no. I'm sorry, 3 yes, 0 no.
With 3 yes and 0 no, the motion carries for new parking signs at 539 Dallas Street. The next correspondence for disabled parking signage renewals. The following addresses have applied for renewal of handicap parking signs: 4812 Adams Street, 431 Dallas Street, 4748 Adams Street, 445 Jackson Street, 4029 Ohio Street, 2361 Lincoln Street, and 2051 Georgia Street. All submitted documentation has been verified and required fees will be paid upon approval. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for approval of renewal handicap signs.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Member Green? Yes. Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With 3 yes and 0 no, the motion carries to approve disabled parking signs renewals for the said addresses. At this time, we'll move on to next correspondence. It is, I'll entertain a motion to currently table for professional service contracts for Milestone Construction and Reith Raleigh 2025.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second to table the Milestone Construction contract and Reith Raleigh contract at for asphalt and concrete at this time. Discussion point just to add is that we have to verify the QC40 that was yet attached. That will be verified, so we will table this for a further future meeting. I'll just do all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Those two contracts will be tabled. The next correspondence we have is a request from RFP for the Community Development Department. The Community Development has identified several initiatives inquiring partnerships and contractors engaged in the support of the City of Gary's strategic objectives. The advanced initiatives for the department are preparing the following requests for proposals, or RFPs: clearing vegetation in specified areas. The description is removal of vegetation and root treatment at Roosevelt High School fields, around the fencing starting at 21st Avenue to 23rd Avenue to improve the neighborhood aesthetics and safety. The removal of vegetation and root treatment at Gleason Park around the fence line. And also fencing. The description is remove and replace the existing fence at Gleason Park with fencing, and remove the old fence and install new fencing along the designated areas at Roosevelt High School fields, 21st Avenue to 23rd Avenue, where fencing is currently installed. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the permission to post both RFPs.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any discussion? I just note that in the notes that these RFPs will be posted and also available in the Community Development Department. I know typically they are available in the Public Works Department. These will be by way of the Community Development Department for any of the public that is inquiring. Of course, contact information will be Deputy Director Latria Reed at lreed@gary.gov. And of course, they will be posted publicly by way of newspaper as well as on our city website. Roll call vote, please.
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no's.
With 3 yes and 0 no, the request to advertise RFPs for vegetation and fencing have been approved. The next correspondence we have is from the engineering department. It is for Aegis. Aegis is a vendor and contractor who will be providing the city with blight elimination work as well as inspections for the blight elimination program in 2025. They will review and do all of the inspections for asbestos and whether asbestos abatement is necessary. The total contract is not to exceed $25,000. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the contract for Aegis.
So moved.
Second.
So moved and properly second. Any additional discussion?
Yes. So this work is being taken from what fund? Indicates the QC fund is attached in exhibit. Yeah, I mean, everybody just got their 25 budget, so it shouldn't be 602. Should not.
This one was, I believe so, the inspections behind the issue with the redevelopment department not being able to. So, I think that was the reason why. And they're trying to finish. Just for clarification, this was also so they can finish the volunteer work for the Edna and the Edna neighborhood, the demo that's happening by way of donated labor from Reith Raleigh and the other construction companies. This is to finish those inspections so that they can demo next month.
We want to do it pending because it shouldn't come from 602.
Okay.
We have other funds for that type of work.
Okay.
and 62 is more operational, so, I mean, we got the budget.
Yeah.
For 25, I just need to know where to take it from. So
Okay.
So we'll approve it pending, because Mike was emphasizing how important it is to move forward quickly on it.
Yeah, that's why they
So
needed
we'll-
this. They've already
I mean, that's no
began.
problem. You can do it pending because I know their budgets. I just don't know which one to take it from.
Okay.
Okay.
So if afterwards we can do it.
Okay.
All right, so, I move that well, did we already do the motion?
Then we have to draw that motion.
Okay. I withdraw the motion, the previous motion to approve, this contract with Aegis. And now I'm gonna restate my motion. I move that we approve the contract with Aegis for blight elimination work for not to exceed $25,000 pending, the, revision of the QC 44.
Second?
It's been moved and properly second to approve the contract for Aegis pending the revision of the QC 40 form. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With 3 yes and 0 no, the contract is approved contingent upon the revision of the QC 40. The next correspondence we have is from the Gary Fire Department. And I actually noticed that in the room we have Chief Tillman. So Chief Tillman, I don't know if you came to announce this one. If not, we can do it. I just want to acknowledge it.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair and Board. Yeah, we just have the retirement of Engineer Ernie Simpson. He's going to be retiring. He put in for January 7th of 2025. He was hired on June 16th, 1999, and did a total of 25 years of service to the city of Gary.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept the retirement of Engineer Ernie Simpson for 25 years of service.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and properly second. Just in way of discussion, it's always great to have the chief announce the long-term service of our public safety team.
We thank Engineer Simpson for his 25 years of loyal service to the people of Gary.
Awesome. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green.
Yes.
Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With the vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the retirement is accepted. All proper documentation was provided, and we will wish the best of luck to Engineer Ernie Simpson. Next correspondence we have is from Cherry Backart by way of the Finance Department. Cherry Backart, and I'm not saying that right, Backart is, is the the company that was hired to do our asset inventory for 2024. The contract amendment is just simply to amend the contract with no additional increase on the dollar amount. They did not use the current total amount that they were allowed. However, they have not completed the services by December 31st, 2024. So they are asking to extend to February 28th, 2025. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the contract extension.
So moved.
Second?
Second, it's been moved and properly second to extend the contract of Cherry Backart Advisory Group for the asset inventory for 2024 through 2025. Any additional discussions?
No, we're just in the final stage. So at this point, they will be entering the data into our software system.
Awesome. Seeing no additional discussions, roll call vote.
Member Green. Secretary Morgan.
Yes.
Vice President Dumas.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With the vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the extension of the contract for Cherry Backart has been approved. The next correspondence we have is from Haywood and Fleming and Associates. Haywood and Fleming is the city's group life insurance carrier by way of One America and the accidental death and dismembered policy with Reuben Warner Associates. At this time, the total contract is to cover all city employees for the life insurance as well as accidental death. The total contract is for $250,000 for the year of 2025. At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second to approve the contract for Haywood and Fleming and Associates for group life insurance and accidental death. Any additional discussion? I noticed HR is here as well. Anything you would like to add for the wake of record? If you have, please.
Just thank you, everybody. We just want to go ahead and get it starting with the year. Before, we presently started in the middle of last year, so it's great that we were able to go ahead and get everything done from the beginning to the end. So, thank you.
Thank you. Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With the vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the life insurance policy as well as accidental death is approved with Haywood and Fleming. Any additional correspondence and unfinished business?
No.
Moving along to the new business items that we have.
Okay, so, Mr. Vice President, first we have a professional services contract with Xerox Business Solutions. This contract is for an amount not to exceed $33,800. And the services they'll be providing is to convert physical records to digital records for the City of Gary Health Department. And the term is from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. So I move that we approve this contract with Xerox Business Solutions Midwest to convert physical records to digital records for the City Health Department for an amount not to exceed $33,800.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Moving and properly second to approve the contract for Xerox Business Solutions. I will note that before we move to discussion, Director Collins Ellis is in the room. Do you have anything additional to add that you would like to come to the mic and say? No? All right, so no additional discussion. Again, this is just to move and convert all records, vital records, to digital records. Controller Green?
Ms. Veronica, there is no QC40 attached. Which fund is paying for? There's no QC40 attached for funding source. Which fund is paying for this service? Okay.
717, Department and Fund 2212.
Okay, I don't have that. 717 Department.
Department 717, Fund 2212.
Thank you. Okay.
I'd just like to comment that I think it's great that the Health Department is modernizing things to make it easy for residents to get their vital records, their birth certificates, their death certificates, and that kind of thing. So just, congratulations on moving things forward.
Exactly, and I agree. We also, in the wake of a possible catastrophic event that we pray never happens, this would ensure that we can obtain those vital records no matter what happens to that physical building and physical address. So we're just moving on up to the 22nd century. So, any additional discussions? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes, 0 no, Xerox Business Solutions digitizing vital records contract has been approved. Next one.
Okay, so next we have a contract with Innovative Planning LLC to serve as a consultant in areas of planning, zoning, and redevelopment. The term of the contract is from January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2027, with the contractor to be paid an amount not to exceed $181,380 for the calendar year of 2025, which contains $86,400 for planning and zoning services and $94,980 services for redevelopment services. The portion that's going to be covered by redevelopment must still be approved by the Gary Redevelopment Commission. The contract contemplates an increase of 4% during 2026 and 2027. So with that, I move that we approve this contract with Innovative Planning LLC for January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2027 for an amount not to exceed $181,380.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the contract for innovative planning. Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and properly second to approve the contract for innovative planning. Any discussion? Any additional discussion?
Funding source for planning, and is the department that's paying for it.
This is attached to this, and bear with me, please. This is kind of out of order, but I saw it in there.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Okay. My motion is pending receipt of the QC40 for this.
Oh, yeah, that. So we have a motion that it was approved pending the QC40 and has been properly second. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote for innovative planning.
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With 3 yes and 0 no, innovative planning contract is approved pending the updated QC40. Next next correspondence.
So next we have grant agreement with Gary Harm Reduction Corporation for an amount not to exceed $25,000 for the year of 2025. And so I move that we approve this grant with Gary Harm Reduction Services for $25,000 for service to be provided this year.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second to approve the Grant Harm Reduction Corp. Contract for 2025. I'm going to ask Director Collins Ellens to come up and explain this contract as well as the purposes of the next two as well. They all fall in the same category.
All right, good morning. This is for our street outreach program with Gary Harm Reduction. They will be going out in the community doing clean needle exchange, making sure people are getting HIV tested, making sure they are supporting and making sure access to the opiate community. And the next one is Love of Arts. That's the launching a youth services recovery program to provide prevention of opiate program. Ages 13 through 18. And then the next one is Edgewater for $25,000 as well, just as Love of Arts. And that's a student opiate awareness campaign that's gonna be throughout the city of Gary to provide media coverage to talk about prevention, misuse, and abuse of opiates.
And all of these are in conjunction with the opiate funding that we receive in regards to the settlement case. So I just want to make sure it's stated for the record what these services are providing in regards to social services to the community. All right, see no other questions, no other discussion, excuse me. We'll move on to roll call vote for the approval of Harm Reduction Corp.
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes and 0 no.
With 3 yes and 0 no, the contract for Gary Harm Reduction Corp. Has been approved.
Okay, so next we have a contract with, for the Love of Arts Incorporated. It's a Gary nonprofit. The amount not to exceed is $25,000. And the services are as the director described. So I move that we approve this contract for a grant agreement with the Love of Arts Incorporated for $25,000.
Second.
Been moved and properly second to approve the contract for the Love of Arts contract not to exceed $25,000 for said services. Again, this is the opiate reduction funding or settlement funding to help reduce the abuse and use of opiates. All of these grants also, I will note, apply through a competitive grant process and was awarded via that process. No other discussion, I'll entertain a roll call vote.
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the contract for the Love of Arts has been approved.
So, Mr. Vice President, next we have a contract, it's a grant agreement with Edgewater Health for $25,000, also for addiction, substance abuse, and opioid prevention and intervention services. I move that we approve this agreement with Edgewater Health for $25,000 for 2025.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second to approve the contract for Edgewater Health and to not to exceed $25,000. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the contract for Edgewater Health has been approved.
Mr. Vice President, next we have a contract with our health director, our health officer, I should say, Dr. Janet Seabrook, to serve as the City of Gary's health officer. She began her duties last year. She's doing a great job. This contract is for an amount not to exceed $58,000, which will be payable to her biweekly. We'll also reimburse her for all reasonable necessary costs and expenses incurred in executing her duties. So with that, I move that we approve the contract with Dr. Jana Seabrook to serve as the City of Gary's health officer for $58,000 plus reasonable necessary expenses.
Second.
It's moved and properly second to approve the contract for Dr. Janet Seabrook in regards to being the health commissioner for the City of Gary. By way of law, the health commissioner has to be a certified board-approved doctor, of which she was the doctor that was selected by the mayor on last year, and this is a renewal of the same said contract. At this time, any additional discussions? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the contract for Dr. Janet Seabrook for the health commissioner for the City of Gary has been approved.
Next, we have a contract with Attorney Renzo Williams III to serve as the Common Council's attorney. The Common Council gets to pick its own attorney, and they will be paying him an amount of $55,000 on a biweekly basis of $2,200 per payment to provide services to the Gary Common Council. So, I move that we approve the contract for legal services to the Common Council for $55,000 with Attorney Renzo Williams.
Second.
We have been moved and properly second to approve the contract for Attorney William Renzer to be the attorney for the Gary Common Council. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the contract for Attorney William Renzer. I'm sorry. My thing went out. There it is. Just blank. The contract for William Renzer Williams has been approved.
Okay, so next, Mr. Vice President, we have a contract with KDO3 Consulting. They perform financial consulting services primarily for the Gary City Council. The contract is not to exceed $32,000 for the year 2025. It's going to be paid in equal monthly installments of $2,666. Contractor must submit invoices to receive payment. So I move that we approve this contract with KDO3 Consulting to provide financial consulting services for the Common Council for $32,000 for the year.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. It's been moved and properly second to approve the contract for KD03 for financial consulting services for the Gary Common Council to not exceed $32,000. Any additional discussion? Seeing roll call vote.
Member Green? Yes. Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the contract for KD03 has been approved.
Mr. Vice President, next we have a contract with Helios Consulting to provide a service to the General Counsel of General Strategic Consulting for the Gary Common Council. The amount not to exceed is $25,000, paid at the rate of $5,000 per month. And the term is from the effective date, which would be today, expiring May 31st, 2025. So I move that we approve this contract with Helios Consulting to provide strategic consulting services for the Gary Common Council from now through May 31st, 2025, for an amount not to exceed $25,000.
Been moved and properly second to approve a contract for Helios Consulting for the Gary Common Council for strategic consulting to not exceed $25,000. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green? Yes. Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the contract for Helios Consulting has been approved.
All right, and lastly, Mr. Vice President, we have a contract with MKSK Incorporated to audit and update the city's comprehensive plan, which was last prepared in 2010. This update is going to get it more in line with Mayor Melton's plans and initiatives and the great things we have coming with Senate Bill 434. So the contract term is from January 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025. And the total compensation for these services is not to exceed $75,000. So I move that we approve this contract with MKSK to audit and update the city's comprehensive plan for an amount not to exceed $75,000.
Second. It's been moved and properly second for us to receive to approve the contract for MKSK. Any additional discussion in regards to that contract? It wasn't attached. I know it was attached. It wasn't attached either.
Okay, so I amend my motion that we approve it pending the receipt of an acceptable QC40 form.
The amended motion on the floor is to approve the contract pending approval of a QC40. Do I have a second to the amended motion? Moved and properly second. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Member Green? Yes. Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the contract of MKSK is approved pending an approved QC40. That concludes all correspondence for the amendment to the agenda under new business. At this time, do we have any public comment online?
No.
We have no public comment online. I'm looking here. We have no one signed up to provide public comment, but always we want to pause and give an opportunity for anybody that wishes to approach the mic and address the public. Having none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and properly second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
City of Gary has a 311 app? You can report any non-emergency request right from your smartphone. Need help dealing with unfair landlords? Use the app.
Girl, I just don't understand. I'm paying rent, and my landlord isn't fixing any of the issues in this apartment. What should I do?
You know you can report it on the Gary 311 app. Do you have it?
What's that?
Let me show you. Just go to your app store.
Or maybe you need to request the birth certificate.
Kim, I can't find my birth certificate.
Well, it probably just got misplaced during the move. Actually, we can request a new one through the Gary 311 app.
Okay. New technology. I'm in.
Let me show you.
And guess what? You can even report illegal dumping.
Look at him! Just dumping his garbage on private property. Well, caught him in 4K. You know we can report him on the Gary 311 app and to GPD's Taste Tip? That's good.
Never feel frustrated again about an issue. Use the Gary 311 app to report all your non-emergency needs. It's a free application that allows users to report community issues, pinpoint the location with GPS, attach photos, and more. All right from your smartphone. Download the Gary 311 app today. Available on iOS and Android.